Hello everyone. I think we uh, we were expecting more audience here, but we only have two people. I think one is Heba Farouk and one is Hani Ibrahim. So we'll try to reschedule the event, but I'll try to talk to you guys individually, and it's a good opportunity that we only have two people, so you guys can take the maximum benefit out of the session today. So in the chat section, if you guys can hear me properly, do just give me a thumbs up or just type in yes. Okay. So if you guys can see me as well. All right. So I wanted to touch upon a few key items today in the open house. And since this is only for affiliates, so I would like to keep it brief, and then I'll take a few questions. So talking about the Pakistan economy and during the COVID-19, the economic outlook for Pakistan was a little bleak even before COVID-19. I mean, we were moving towards stability and we're coming out of uh, a difficult position, but then the health crisis struck and the economy fell into a spiral derail, and then we started looking at the recovery process. Manufacturing, supply chain, and export were severely hit because of the pandemic. I'm sure you also must know about this. Pharmaceuticals of the country, it was anticipated that they would play a good vital role in helping the nation's economy. There were a few sectors, however, that saw growth. Yeah, so they saw growth during the COVID-19, and even after it. We saw a 3% growth approximately in the agriculture sector. There was growth in the IT exports, digital agencies blossomed, accounting and finance outsourcing picked up. Logistics and transport is now starting to show growth. The advisory services were severely, overworked with the number of requests that they were getting, and obviously, pharmaceutical industry has grown simply because of the demand of certain goods. Um, just let me double check if you guys can see the screen. I am trying to show you, so you guys can see. This is what I want you guys to see. Okay, so the ACCA affiliate journey. So you have, the first task, just as you become an affiliate, is completing your PER. The second, thing, or the first thing to do is to find a great supervisor within the organization that you're working. And if you're not working within an organization, you have to find an organization and then a good supervisor. It doesn't have to be your line manager, but it's always good to find somebody who is who has a good position in the organization, because then he'll be more experienced, who would know, and he will be able to help you out much better. Then you have to choose the right objectives. There are 22 objectives, out of which 5 are compulsory, and then you have to choose 4 out of the 14 out of the 17 remaining. So you have to really understand which of those 4 objectives would you be concentrating on. And that would depend on your organization and on the career path or the vision that you want for yourself. Then the question is, and you have to regularly record your PR, and this is something that I would really like to stress upon. What most individuals or most affiliates do is they tend to keep PR recording right at the end. They think that हम end पे कर लेंगे और हमारे पास अभी time है. होता ये है कि 1 year or 2 years later you leave the organization, you go for a better position, or you just simply hop your job. And then you end up chasing the person who was your line manager in the previous organization, और फिर वो आपको मिलता नहीं, and then you come to us and say that give us a way out of it. So in order to remove this, and in order to make sure that you yourselves also stay updated regularly, record your PER as you go along. Then you have to finish your EPSM, which is the Ethics and Professional Skills module. And then the last thing is your future once you qualify as a member. What would that be like? We have mutual recognition agreements with other member bodies. We have arrangements with other professional bodies outside of the country. So that's where you have to see and align yourselves or plan out right from today, if you haven't actually started working and if you are a fresh affiliate, that this is the place, or this is the country, or this is the organization I want to go to, and this is how I would go. At least you should have a plan. What support are we is ACCA giving? I mean, we are consistently placing jobs on ACCA Careers, which are coming through us from our employers. We are then signposting those jobs also at ALPs like PAC, SCANS, LGS, TMUC, and others in Lahore, and then respectively in Faisalabad. Um, we recently had our ACCA's virtual career fair in June, where we took on board around 60 employers who advertised 180 jobs. And we had close to 7,000 applications being sent to all of these jobs. And I think that's one of the reasons why, it's good to stay connected with ACCA and good to stay connected with our social media channels, because that is where you'll get a number of notifications on what we are doing, and how can you be part of it. The fourth thing is that because of the current situation, there's subscription support for you guys as well. One support is that if you are an ACC affiliate and it's not, and the time that you've been affiliate is less than 3 years, and you've lost your trainee position because of COVID-19, you can apply for a reduced subscription, and the reduced subscription would be £58. And if you are a long-term affiliate and you have lost your job because of COVID-19, then your annual subscription would be reduced from 258 to £129. So this is another support which is available for you guys. I would like to quickly, talk about employer expectations and how things have changed. Um, so post COVID-19, you can well imagine, and these are not exact numbers. This is based on my experience in working working with organizations in Faisalabad, Gujranwala, Sialkot, and Lahore. They demand technical skills, they want a high IQ, they also want high EQ. Digital quotient is also something that they're looking for. They want vision and experience, and this graph is made keeping in mind fresh affiliates who are in the process of building their own vision, who are in the process of gaining more experience, and then and are learning more digital technologies. But after COVID-19, what happened is that creativity, digital quotient, and emotional intelligence, especially, has increased, expectations from the employer side for affiliates. So they want people to be, high in emotional intelligence, high in digital learning and digital acumen, and then be creative enough to come up with solutions that can actually help solve them problems of today. The the next so these three areas is something that you need to build on if you're choosing your PER, if you're choosing your employer, if in general you're thinking about what employers are expecting. So I would also like to highlight one problem. The problem is that there is no matchmaking between the employer, the PER objective, and the personal goal for an affiliate. So what happens is they just go into the market regardless of what the job is, and even if they don't like audit, they just want to go to the big fours because of the brand name and what that value can bring into their resume. आप लोग क्या करते हैं कि you don't think about your personal goal, what you want to accomplish and by when. What is the employer who would help you achieve that goal, and how would you record, or what objectives would you want to work on with that employer. So the solution is very simple. You have to come up with your vision. You have to see what industry you want to work in, and then what employer would best suit you to achieve your vision. That's it. It should be a linear process. You have to think about your vision, your goal today, and then it will be easier for you to identify which industry you want to go to and which employer you want to work with. So I think that's it. I would like to now look at some of the questions that you guys must have, and then we can quickly um, close. We have about 4 people. So if you guys have any questions, would definitely want to learn what you guys think, and if you want to sort of okay. So any questions, guys? We have 4 people. We have Hiba, Hira, Sajid, and Hani Ibrahim. So how is doing CFA after completing ACCA? How can we apply for reduced subscription? Hira, if you want to apply for reduced subscription, you just have to email at cs.lhr at accglobal.com. Let me type it in for you. Just send them an email and then they'll send you the next steps on what to do. How is doing CFA after completing ACCA? So, again, it's a personal choice. If you think you want to go towards that particular stream, then yes, it's good for you. But if you think that you want to stay within Pakistan, stay within a particular industry and not look at and not do anything else, then you should consider or evaluate your options, because some people I've seen simply do things just to add a degree or just to add a qualification within your resume. I think that's a good approach, but the employers have figured it out that this is not something that they're looking for. They want people who, again, like I said, are good at creativity, are good at digital quotients, and are good at understanding their emotional needs, and are intelligent emotionally. Any other questions if anybody has? Because I'll just talk about a few more things and then we can, give you back your time. Okay. So we have another question. It says, which department in Big Four would be suitable for CFA students? Okay, so my understanding is that after doing CFA, the investment banking, investment future is something that you are looking for. And if we take only this part, of the type of career that CFAs have, you can think about the advisory sector, because that's where you are advising other companies either to invest or divest from particular industry or a particular market. So I think that's something that you can explore. And if you want to go into advisory, I think PwC would be a good organization where you can actually go into advisory and um, actually learn from the experience and the type of customers that they have, and especially the fact that because they they are very experienced in delivering ERP solutions to their clients, and ERP is the future. So I think that's one thing that you can also look at. So just any other question, guys? I received an and I'm unemployed for long due to am I eligible to? Yes, exactly, Hira. You are somewhat. I mean, because the support is for people who have actually lost their jobs. What you can do is you can email at the same email address I've shared, and I think they'll respond back to your situation as well. Just type in the give a good explanation of what the situation is, and then they'll get back to you on that. Another point that I would like to just last point, and then if anybody else doesn't have any questions, we can go back to our new normal lives. So we're talking to employers day in and day out, and the one area which constantly comes up is security and the importance of staying relevant. And because of this conversation, we encourage the employers to hire affiliates who are active, because if they're not active, they are not interacting with ACCA, and then ACCA will not be able to govern them if they're not active. And then the organizations see this as as an opportunity, because then they'll know that there's a third body who is governing a certain number of students. So if they are unethical or if they're unprofessional, we can certainly raise this with ACC, and then they can help us mitigate some of the issues that we have. So my message to you all would be that since the economy is now moving towards a betterment, it's good to stay active and good to look out for opportunities. Um, um, Constantly visit ACCA Careers, look at all the social media pages of ALPs. I'm sure all of you must have, liked their Facebook pages, Instagram pages. Just keep a lookout of any job that you can see, and then, apply. But don't just go for any job. I know options, excuse me, options are limited right now because of the current situation, but it's always good. It's always better to, know where you want to go. It'll help you decide on the organization as well. So the one way to stay active is to simply pay your subscription. Just be aligned with the accounting body. And if I talk in terms of opportunities in the textile sector, you can. I'll send an email address to you guys, and you can send your resumes to Fahad, who is looking after the region with me, and he can get you in touch with any employer who is hiring ACCAs. And I think there were a few positions as well. So what I'll do is I'll send it across to all four of you, and you guys can share your resume if you are currently in Faisalabad. So guys, any other questions? If no further questions, then you guys can have half an hour back, because we had 1 hour for this session. Last date for subscription. So last date would be 20th of September for affiliates. So please try to, make sure that you pay your dues by then. We still have 10 days. So, all right, guys, I think that was about it. Good thing was we had, low number of attendees, and we were able to close this much quicker. So you have Fahad's email. If you have any other questions you want to ask, if that question comes to you after the session, please do ask. So thank you guys. Thank you for joining.